So this is our final demo for chapter 15. Notice at the top here we have private final static int number of nations 7. So there's going to be 7 flags and 7 national anthems involved in this demo. We also have a URL base string, and it's equal to http live example Pearson blah 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 common. And then of course we're going to append to this particular additional information so that we can recycle that string as the URL to get a number of different pictures of flags and different national anthems to play. Here we create all the images we need, or we create an empty array of images, and we're going to populate that down below, and it's going to contain a number of entries equal to the number of nations that were specified, in other words 7. And we do the same with media player here. So there's going to be 7 MPs, an array of 7 MPs, and an array of 7 images. So for I goes from 0 to 6 actually. What we will do is use I as an index, and we will use it to build the URL strings that we need. So remember, the image constructor can either take, well, it takes a URL string generally. Whether that happens to be a URL string that specifies a local file or something that's out there on the internet is immaterial. It can do either one. In this case, it is going to be something off the internet. So we start with the beginning of our URL string. We concatenate to that /image/flag, and then the number 0 through 7, and then an extension of .gif. So as we cycle through this for loop, then we're going to get a total of 7 images, and they're going to then be an array of MPs, MP0, MP1, all the way up to MP7. And what I just said applies to the images. Now the MP is going to be the audio, and it comes from the same URL base, but this time we're appending to it audio anthem, and then 0 through 7, 0 through 6, and then a .mp3. So in other words, we build URL strings out of the URL base to capture the 7 different images and the 7 different audio tracks that we need to do this demonstration. We then define a button for pause, and I'm not going to go through this code with you because we just did in a previous demo. It's the same pause play button that we saw before. Here we create an image view with the current index. So what will happen is the current index value is going to change as the demo proceeds. Now let's scroll up to the top just to remind you that initially the current index is set to 0. So the 0th flag and audio track are what we're going to be preparing to play by default here. So we set for that flag, and then we produce a combo box from which we're going to select a particular nation. We use the fxcollections.observableArrayList method to convert this array of strings, and it's a regular array of strings, into an observable list of strings instead, called items. We then add these items to our combo box, and we set the initial value equal to the 0th item. So we do an items.getZero and set the value of our combo box to that. Then here's where we put together the event handler for this. The event is going to be clicking on the it's going to be the set on action method with our combo box. In other words, when we select an item from the combo box, an event is going to occur, and we're going to process that by taking the current index of the media player and stopping that recording, because we have a recording that's potentially playing at this point in time. We want to stop that before we reset to a new image and new recording. We then set current index to the value of the selected item from the combo box. We then change the image to that selected item, and we change to that particular media player, and we begin to play it. Then finally, before we leave, we set the play pause button to the pause symbol, which means it's currently playing, but we want to set it up so someone can click on it now to pause the recording. After all of that, then we produce ourselves an HBox in which we add as children, in order, from left to right then, the pause button, the label select a nation, and finally the combo box. So we have 3 items in a horizontal row here. We set the alignment for the HBox to center. We create ourselves a border pane next, and in that border pane in the centerpiece we put down the appropriate image, the current image, and we lay our buttons in the bottom section of our border pane. And the rest of it is history, you know, all what's going on in this part. Oh, except there's one extra line at the bottom that's new, and that's the fact that we begin to play whatever the selected anthem is. So let's try this out then. So I can click on the pause button to pause that, and then I can click it again to now begin to play it from where it left off. So it's not going to rewind, it's just going to pick up where it left off. I can switch to Germany or to the United States. Can pause and continue. We have now completed chapter 15.